and welcome to blog number 5. This is me learning to play the Melodian. In blog 4 I was showing you just the right hand that I've worked out of the famous old hymn When a Knight Won His Spurs. And I've added the bass, as you've just seen, and I was a bit nervous but I did just about get through it. And I'd just like to talk it through a little bit. The right hand, I had a bit of an unnecessary row cross. I was on the second part, I was going I did that, I didn't need to do that. I thought I needed to do that because of the bass line. I did mention last time, but when you're working out the right hand, you do need to work out the bass line at the same time if you're going to play bass with it. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. And I was, I'd been a bit too clever for my own good there. So that was handy because it made the bass line a little bit easier. So that bass line starts. The tune starts on the G row. We're in the key of D, but we're starting on the G row. Now notice there. On the pull, I've got the D chord on the pull on that button there, and then a different inversion of it on the push. So it comes to that. So I'm getting the same chord, but on different buttons, different inversions as I'm pushing and pulling. So the first two notes, there's no, sounds like a car horn a bit like, doesn't it? But the first part, you see, the same chord, but one's on a push, one's on a pull. So that's an E minor there. Going into an A chord there. So from the beginning, both on the pull. First bit again. So what I've got there is an E minor with an A bass on the pull, G on the push, and then a D chord on the push. And that actually and there I've got a D chord and a D bass. D bass and a D chord. Let's get this right. Now, to go into the second part, I'm playing this note on the G row to lead me in. And now, very important to set your fingers up properly. This is a very important part playing the Melodian, is to plan your fingering. For instance, in that first part, if I start off with my third finger, see, I've got a nice, everything works nicely there. So I've got fingers available for everything I need if I start my third finger. Similarly with this second part, if I start my first finger on button 5, see? That works really well. Now, the bass line with this, just a straightforward D bass. Start without the bass and come in on the third note. And nicely there, when you change, when you pull, you get the A chord. That's fine. So this second part, that works really nicely, all on one button, in and out. And then the E minor on the pull, B minor on the push, that was the A chord. And so there's only 2 buttons of the right hand. First part again. So you notice you end on button 5 at finger 2 in the position you're in. So you start with finger 1, And you end on button 5 with finger 2. Don't forget to change back to finger 3 for the sort of repeat of the first bit. And there you're going to do your E minor with the A bass. That's quite nice. And then with the D chord with the D bass. The way I did that bass line, by the way, was practically all in chords. Now, the problem that you have with that is that the chord is 3 notes and the right hand is only generating 1 note at a time, so it can get a bit out of balance. Obviously you've got 3 notes versus 1 note, so there can be a bit of a balance problem there, but I think it sounded okay. And obviously you don't want to be playing the chords all the time like I did. I sort of stopped a couple of times for a couple of lead-in notes, and I don't think the balance was too bad. It's a little bit like stereo, really, isn't it? It's a bit like 2 speakers. You've got this side the bass is coming out, this side the treble is coming out, so it's a little bit like a stereo balance with 2 speakers. Of course they're not the speakers, they are the reeds that are giving you the notes. But generally you perhaps wouldn't play those chords all the way through, but I thought it worked quite nicely in this piece. I talked about aches and pains in a previous blog, and I found I've relieved that quite a lot just by doing something that someone suggested to me, that is, you know, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Don't keep sitting for hours playing, don't keep standing for hours, vary it. Vary your you know, position, and you'll find you won't get the aches and pains. I haven't had the hip problems since I've done that, which has been really good, so thank you for that tip. Yeah, the angle of the Melodian to your body is quite important. I've found it was like drifting down that way quite a lot, and it is pretty important to get it, well for me anyway, I find it's important to get it fairly sort of upright with the keyboard under my chin to get comfortable in that way. That really does help my playing a lot, I've found. I must say that I've got a bit downhearted the last couple of days with this, because I just really struggled to retain anything. I was trying to do this one night on his Spurs and get the bass line in. And I did contemplate buying a Melodian with a Stradella bass. And if you don't know what that is, it's the types of accordions or Melodians that have lots and lots and lots of little black or white buttons. And the joy of those is that they give you the same note on the push and the pull. The downside of them is that it's much harder for you to find the notes on them because there's so many of them, they're much smaller. And those types of accordions, Melodians, whatever, tend to be much heavier. This is a Hohner Erica, it's lovely and light, and I find it's very, very comfortable. I have been loaned a 120 bass Stradella piano accordion, which is so heavy it's unbelievable. I can barely lift the thing off the floor, let alone play it. So, you know, I did think about getting one of these three-row button accordions with a B, C, C sharp setup and a 90, I think it's 96 Stradella bass. But today, I picked this up and I've managed to get this together, so I'm a little bit more heartened, and we'll just have to see what happens in the future. Okay, I'm trying not to give in to MAD, which of course is Melodian acquisition disease. Anyway, that's that. That's the end of blog 5. I'm going to go back and perhaps learn a few more tunes from the book that I've been learning from George Garside's book. So I'm looking forward to that, and going to keep trying to improve. I mean, it does vary from day to day and from hour to hour. Sometimes I pick this up and I just can't seem to retain what I'm doing. But what I find often helps is to just relax and almost not think about it. If I do that, I find I tend to play a lot better. If I start fiercely concentrating on one hand or the other, I seem to go wrong. You've got to kind of practice it and then just let it happen, and generally I find that's a bit better. But if you are going to concentrate, as I said before, just try and concentrate on one hand, and it's usually going to be the right hand, and feed the left hand in, and just keep doing it, keep playing the piece over and over again. It's very trying for your family, but it's the only way really, if you're going to get anywhere with a piece, is just practice it and practice it and practice it, so that you don't have to think about it and you almost do it instinctively, and that works really well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video diary, and I'll see you in video 6.